Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. I'm here again, your Ma'am Cat, your super. Hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa channel ko, please subscribe now and do not forget to hit the notification bell para lagi kang updated sa bagong video lesson ko. So, today we are going to discuss about Math 6 second quarter week 2. This is the continuation of what I uploaded last time. So, we are going to discuss the types of proportion. Now, let's get it on and lesson. So, the objective of this lesson is after going through this lesson, you are expected to identify the types of proportion. What are the different types of proportion? So we have, the first one is the direct proportion, and it states that if one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases at the same rate and vice versa. That is the first type of proportion, that is direct proportion. So if one increases, so direct yung kanyang relation. If we are going to compare two variables, direct yung kanyang proportion. Kung parehas pataas, tataas parehas. Kung ang isang quantity ay bababa, bababa din yung isang quantity. Now, the second type of proportion is the inverse proportion. So it states that if one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases, or vice versa. Or if one quantity decreases, the other quantity increases. So opposite direction naman yung kanyang relation. Kung sa direct proportion ay parehas yung kanyang direction, parehas pataas o kaya parehas decreasing, dito naman sa inverse proportion, opposite siya. If one increases, the other one will decrease. And now, and the last is the partitive proportion. A whole is divided into parts that is proportional to the given ratio. So we are going to divide the parts into the given ratio. These are the types of proportion. We have the direct, inverse, and partitive proportion. Now, for you to understand this, I will be giving you the examples of problem or word problem for each of these type. Now, let us start with this problem. There are 120 families in the evacuation center consumed 1,500 kilos or kilograms of donated rice for 3 weeks. If there were only 1,000 kilos or kilograms of NFA rice, how long will the family consume this volume of rice? So now, let me explain first to you this problem. So, sinabi dito, okay? Sinabi dito na meron daw mga evacuees. These are 120 families, yung bilang ng evacuees. So, they consume, nakaubos sila ng 1,500 kilograms ng rice sa loob lamang ng 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, imagine, no? Okay, dito pa lang makukuha mo na yung rate. And, sabi dito, kung meron lamang 1,000 kilograms na NFA rice, how long, pag sinabing how long, ito yung gaano katagal, how long will the family consume the volume of rice? Gaano katagal daw nila mako-consume o mauubos yung 1,000 kilograms of NFA rice? So now, look at this. Kanina, 1,500, madami yung bigas, tama? Kung 1,500, nauubos nila ito ng 3 weeks. So, ibig sabihin, 3 weeks nga, 1,500, 3 weeks. Dito sa ating tanong dito, kung meron daw na 1,000 kilograms, anong nangyayari? Bumaba yung bilang, o bumaba yung timbang ng bigas. Kumbaga, umunti yung bigas. Kung 1,000 lamang daw yung bigas na kakainin nila, gaano katagal nila ito mauubos? So imagine, kung 1,500, 3 weeks nila nauubos. Siyempre, kung 1,000 lamang 'to, anong mangyayari? Mas bababa, tama ba? Mas mabilis nila itong mauubos. Dahil bumaba yung bilang ng bigas, siyempre, bababa rin yung bilang ng weeks na mauubos nila ito. So that is, from this given situation above, you can see that the more kilos of rice there is, the longer it will last for the 120 families. Tama naman. Habang kung ang ibinibigay mo mas maraming bigas, ibig sabihin, mas matagal nila mauubos. Pero kung uuntian mo yung bilang ng bigas or yung kilo ng bigas, syempre, mas mabilis nila itong mauubos. That is why this situation is an example of direct proportion. Direct proportion siya. Kasi habang tumataas yung bilang ng rice, syempre, tumatagal din yung bilang ng weeks or days or time na mauubos nila ito. Pero kung bumababa yung bilang ng rice, yung kilo ng rice, syempre, bababa din. Mas mabilis itong mauubos. Yung time na mako-consume, mas maiksi din. So that is direct proportion. Kasi parehas ng direction ang nangyayari sa problem natin. Now, let us solve this. Ano bang tinatanong dito? What is as in the problem? Yun dapat malaman natin. Let's understand. What is as is how long will the family consume this volume of rice? That is what is asked. What are the given facts? Ano ba yung binigay dito? 1,500, 3 weeks, and 1,000 kilos. Ito po yung mga given. Itong 120 families, hindi na natin siya isasama sa given kasi ito ay, kumbaga, constant, hindi naman mababago yung bilang ng family. Ang nabago, yung timbang ng bigas. Now, kung meron tayo ditong kilograms of rice, sabi, gawin nating proportion. Sulatan natin ng, let us plan. Write a proportion. 1,000 kilograms of rice is to 3 weeks. So, equal siya, naging ano? Naging 1,000 kilogram na lang daw. Ilang ngayong week ang ilang weeks nila mako-consume ito. Now, ito na yung ating proportion. So, kung makikita nyo, kapag direct siya, parehas ng unit ang ating first and third term. At parehas ng unit ang ating second and last term. Burahin ko. Now, let us solve for the missing terms. Katulad nung diniscuss ko before. So now, let us solve. We have here, dahil ito ay missing, lagyan natin ng x para to represent the missing number. Now, we have here x times 1,500. We have 1,500x equals 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. Now, solving for the value of x, we divide both sides by 1,500. Makakancel na ito. Ang matitira is x is equal to 3,000 divided by 1,500. That is equal to 2. So, anong nawawala natin dito? Weeks. Therefore, the family will consume 1,000 kilograms of rice in 2 weeks. So, this is the answer. So, bakit naging 2 weeks na lang siya? Kasi bumaba yung kilo ng rice eh. Kumbaga, umunti yung kilo ng rice, uunti din yung time na mako-consume ito. So this is an example of direct proportion. So this is the answer for this problem. Now let's have another problem. Okay, this is a direct proportion. Next, let's see if this one is a direct proportion. A bus traveled 300 kilometers in 2 hours. How far can it travel in 6 hours? So, sabi dito, yung bus, 300 kilometers ang natatravel niya sa loob. Kumaga, yung layo, 300 kilometers sa loob ng 2 hours. So, ang tinatanong dito, gaano kalayo ang matatravel niya in 6 hours? Anong napansin nyo? Humaba yung time. Siyempre, halimbawa ikaw, mas mahaba yung time ng pagtatravel, ibig sabihin, ito ay at the same rate. So, dahil humaba yung oras ng pagtatravel mo, ibig sabihin, mas malayo yung mararating mo. So, is this an example of direct proportion? Okay, yes, this is an example of direct proportion. Siyempre, kasi kapag humaba yung time mo, siyempre, lalayo yung mararating mo, di ba? Pero kung maiksi lang yung time mo ng pagta-travel, maiksi lang or malapit lang din or maiksi lang yung distance na mata-travel mo. Ibig sabihin, as the time increases, the distance also increases. While as the time decreases, the distance also decreases. So that is a direct proportion. Now, what is as in this problem? What is as is how far or the distance traveled in 6 hours. What are the given? We have 300 kilometers, 2 hours, and 6 hours. Now, let us plan. So, in planning, we need to write the proportion. So, the proportion here is 300 kilometers is to 2 hours equals blank kilometers is to 6 hours. So, now, let us solve. So here we are looking for this one. Lagyan natin ng x. Now, let's solve for the missing terms. We have the extra. Ito, kung gusto natin yung may x muna, we have x times 2 is 2x. And then we have 300 times 6 is 1,800. Now, we need to get the value of x, so we need to divide both sides by 2. So, cancel. So, x is equal to 900 kilometers. So, therefore, the car or the bus can travel 900 kilometers in 6 hours. So, anong napansin nyo? Siyempre, tataas yung sagot, mas magiging mataas sa 300 kasi yung time nadagdagan. Habang nadadagdagan yung time travel, siyempre, madadagdagan din yung distance travel. So, this is an example of direct proportion. Now, let's have another example. We have here, Mario earns 85 pesos every 5 plants he deliver. How many plants did he deliver? He earned 425 pesos. So, dito naman, so habang si Mario nagdi-deliver ng plants, sa every 5 plants, nakakakuha siya ng 85 pesos. So, ngayon, ang tanong, is this a direct proportion? What do you think? Is this a direct proportion or not? Yes, it is a direct proportion. Kasi habang dumadami yung nade-deliver niyang plants, lumalaki yung kanyang earnings. So habang, o kaya kapag kakaunti naman yung na-deliver niyang plants, maliit yung kanyang earnings. Kasi yung kanyang earnings base sa bilang ng plants na dinideliver niya. So this is a direct proportion. Now let us understand what is asked in this problem. So the problem is the number of plants he delivered, he earned 425 pesos. What are the given? So we have 85 pesos every 5 plants and 425 pesos. Let us plan. Write the proportion for this problem. We have 85 pesos is to 5 plants equals 420. 5 pesos is to blank or is to how many plants? Wait, it's not working. Now let us solve the problem. So we have here 85 pesos. Lagyan natin dito ng X to represent. Now let's multiply the extreme. We have 85x. Then let's multiply 425 times 5. What is 425 times 5? Solve muna natin. 425 times 5. We have 25. 10 plus 2 is 12. 21. So the answer is 2,125. Delete natin to. Yan. Na-delete. Okay. Now, here, we just need the value of x here. So we need to divide both sides by 85. Now, cancel. We have x. So now let's get 2,125 divided by 85. So what do you think is the answer? We have here 5. No. We have here 2. And we have 170. Subtract. We have 2. 21. We have 4. And then bring down 5. 425 divided by 85 is 5, I think. 2. Ayan. So the answer is 25. Now let us erase this one. So therefore, Mario will deliver 25 plants to earn 425 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan niya ng mas maraming plants na mai-deliver para maka-earn siya. Para maka-earn siya ng 425 pesos. So, that is an example of direct proportion. It takes Robin 20 minutes to ride his bicycle at 20 kilometers per hour from home to grocery store. To shorten his travel time to 16 minutes for the same distance, how fast should he cycle? Now here, yung problem natin dito, sabi, inaabot ng 20 minutes si Robin sa pagbabike. At ang kanyang speed ay 20 kilometers per hour. Galing sa bahay from home to grocery store. So ngayon, inaabot siya ng 20 minutes. Ngayon gusto niya na mas umiksi yung time. Gusto niyang gawing 16 minutes lang mula sa bahay nila hanggang grocery store. Pero, same distance pa rin. Ang tanong, how fast should he cycle? Kayo, halimbawa kayo, gusto niyo na, halimbawa from your bahay hanggang sa super or sa grocery store, gusto niyo na mas maiksi yung time. Nakabisikleta kayo, anong gagawin niyo? Siyempre, para mas maiksi yung time, mas bibilisan niyo. Tama ba? Mas bibilisan niyo yung pagbabike. Pero kung mas mabagal kang magbike, anong mangyayari sa time? Mas mabagal kang magbike, anong mangyayari sa time? Siyempre, tatagal. Bago mo marating yung grocery store, tatagal. Kasi binagalan mo eh. So ngayon, this is an example of an inverse proportion. So kasi, kung gusto niyang umiksi yung time, dapat bilisan niya yung speed. Mas mabilis pala yung speed, sorry. Dapat mas mabilis yung speed. Ngayon, let the desired speed be x kilometer per hour. Kung ang speed niya, nung una, this is the original given, 20 kilometers per hour. At ang time niya na original ay inaabot siya ng 20 minutes. Ngayon, may bago tayong given. Paano daw kung 16 minutes lang yung gusto niyang time? Gusto niya mapaiksi. Ano daw yung speed na dapat na gawin niya? Sabi dito, the faster the bicycle is driven, syempre, habang mabilis mong dinadrive yung bicycle, the less time is required. Totoo yun. Ibig sabihin, iiksi yung time travel to reach the destination. So this is an example of inverse proportion. So sa inverse proportion, para ma-solve natin ito, meron tayo dito sinusunod na original given is to new given equals new given is to original given. Para ma-solve natin, paano ba yon? Now, let us substitute. Pero dapat, dito sa side na to, lahat ito ay ilagay natin na speed. At dito sa side na to ay time. Pero pwede siya magbaliktad. Pwede dito sa kabila yung time, sa kabila naman yung speed. Basta magkasama. Now, ano ba yung original na speed? The original speed is 20 kilometers. Ano yung bagong speed? This is the new speed. Wala. That is missing. Now, punta tayo sa time. Original time is 20. Ito, nasa ilalim yung original given. 20. At ang new given na time ay gusto niya maging 16 lang. Now, let us solve this. So, we have 16 times x is 16x. And we have 20 times 20 is 400. Dividing both sides by 16. Therefore, we have 400 divided by 16. Solve natin. 400 divided by 16, we have 2. 32. We have 8. 0. 80 divided by 16. Let's see, 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try 5. This is 30, carry 1. 5 times 1 plus 3. So we have, exactly, the answer is, x is equal to 25. So ano yung nawawala natin? Speed, or dito speed. So the answer is 25 kilometers per hour. So Robin should driven his bike with the speed of 25 kilometers per hour to shorten his travel by 16 minutes. So dapat bilisan niya yung kanyang pagbabike into 25 kilometers para umiksi yung time na ma-reach niya yung grocery store. So, this is an example of inverse proportion. So, kung napansin nyo, naging 25 siya kasi umiksi yung time. Naging 16 lang yung time eh. So, this is an example of inverse proportion. Let's have another example. Ayan. If 35 men can reap a field in 8 days, how many days can 20 men reap the same field? So now, kung mapapansin nyo, yung una nating given, tignan natin. Is this an inverse proportion? The question is that. Okay, yes, it is an inverse proportion. Kasi, dito, kung i-imagine niyo habang dumadami yung nagwo-work, di ba? Habang dumadami yung nagwo-work, anong mangyayari doon sa tinatrabaho nyo? Siyempre, mabilis siyang matatapos. Pero kung uunti yung nagwo-work, anong mangyayari sa trabaho mo? Mas matagal mo siyang matatapos. So, this is an example of inverse proportion. So, ngayon, let us understand this problem. What is asked in this problem is the number of days can 20 men reap the same field. So, umunti yung taong magtatrabaho. What are the given? 35 men, 8 days, and 20 men. Let us plan. Let us write the proportion. So here, we have the original over new and new over original, or is to original. So we have here, I will just write here the number of men. The original number of men is 35 and the new number of men is 20. Binawasan yung tao. Now, the original number of days, original number of days is 8. Ngayon, hinahanap yung bagong number of days. Paano kung umunti daw yung tao? Let us solve. Now, let's cross multiply. We have x times 20. We have 20x. And then we have 35 times 8. The answer is, what is the answer? 280. Now, by dividing both sides by 20, x is equal to 14. So therefore, 20 men can reap the field or the same field in 14 days. Anong nangyari? Siyempre, tumagal yung trabaho. Bakit tumagal yung trabaho? Kasi yung 35 na magtatrabaho, binawasan mo, ginawa mo lang 20. Kaya mangyayari dun sa imbis na 8 days matatapos, halos na doble. Magiging 14 days po siya. So this is an example of inverse proportion. The number of men increases, the number of days decreases. The number of men decreases, the number of days increases. So inverse, magkasalungat ng direction ng ating given. Now, let's have this example. A glass of jar has 64 chocolates. Pepe, Dave, and Ray will share the chocolates in the ratio 1:1:2. How many chocolates will each of them get? Now, let's understand what is asked in this problem. So, the number of chocolate that each will get. And what are the given facts? The total number of chocolates is 64 and the ratio is 1 is to 1 is to 2. Now, this is an example of a partitive proportion because in our definition earlier, we say that partitive is when we divide the whole into the given ratio. Now, let us plan. Write the partitive proportion to solve the problem. Let n be the number of chocolates of each of them will get, and let 2n be the number of chocolates one of them with 2 parts will get. Write the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 2 as n is to n is to 2n. So we have here yung 1, nag-represent siya sa n plus 2n equals yung total number of chocolates, 64. So dito sa algebra, kapag nag-add ka ng variable at pare-parehas yung letter or pare-parehas yung variable at parehas din ang degree yung variable, i-add mo lang yung kanyang numerical coefficient. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 2, that is 4n equals 64. Dividing both sides by 4, na-cancel na to, n is equal to 16. Saan ang galing 16? 64 divided by 4 is 16. Now, so, yung may ratio na 1, ang makukuha niya ay 16. So, we have 16, 16, 32. Saan ang galing 32? Yung may ratio na 2, ang makukuha niya ay 32. So, the answer, Pepe, Dave will both have 16 chocolates each, while Ray will get 32 chocolates. Now, to check, add all the chocolates received by Pepe, Dave, and Ray. So we have 16 plus 16 plus 32. The total number of chocolates is 64. This is an example of partitive proportion. Now, I'll give you another example for this. Now, let's have another example. Ruby, Rose, and Anne are business partners. They agreed to divide their profits in the ratio 1 is to 2 is to 3. How much should each receive if the total profit is 6,000 pesos? Now, so let's first understand what is asked in the problem. Ang tinatanong dito ay how much should each receive if the total profits is 6,000 pesos. Ang given natin ay 6,000 pesos at ang ratio ay 1 is to 2 is to 3. Now, let us solve. So, we have n, represent siya ng 1. We have 2n is to 3n. Or pwede nating paltan na ng addition. Erase natin. We have n plus 2n plus 3n equals yung total ng profits nila, which is 6,000 pesos. Now, we have here n plus 2n plus 3n, that is 6n, or yung total nitong ratio. That is equal to 6,000 pesos. Dividing both sides by 6, para makuha natin yung value ng n. So, we have here 1,000 pesos. Therefore, kada isang part ng profit, that is equivalent to 1,000 pesos. So, si Ruby will get one part. Ito yung kanya, one part, that is equivalent to 1,000 pesos. While si Rose will get two parts. Paano ba yun? 2 times 1,000, that is equivalent to 2,000 pesos. And then, yung huli, si Anne, represents the 3 or 3n, that is 3 times 1,000 pesos. So this is 3,000 pesos. So therefore, Ruby will receive 1,000, Rose will receive 2,000 pesos, and Anne will receive 3,000 pesos. To check this answer, you just add these numbers and that should be equivalent to 6,000 pesos. So this is an example of partitive proportion. So now, madaling i-identify ang partitive proportion. Kapag meron kayo nakita, kalimitan sa partitive proportion, kalimitan pero hindi lagi, 3 yung laging naghahati sa mga exam, no? Yun napansin ko. Or sa mga problem na ibinibigay sa mga grade 6 students, kapag partitive proportion, given siya ng whole at saka ng isang ratio. Now, let's proceed to another example. Here, we have here another example. Anne, Jane, and Mary shared 360 stamps. In the ratio 3:4:5, how many stamps will Anne cut? Now here, understand muna natin kasi hindi lagi na kinukuha yung tatlong parts. Dito, ang tinatanong lang, yung kay Anne, or ilan daw stamps lang, yung kay Anne, hindi ng lahat. Now, let us solve this one. So, the ratio is 3:4:5. Gawin natin 3n plus 4n plus 5n equals yung total number ng stamps. That is 360. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 5 is 12. Copy the variable. 360. Dividing both sides by 12. So, n is equal to 30. Ibig sabihin, yung isang part ay 30. Pero kinukuha lang naman ay kay Anne. So, ito yung kay Anne, ito yung kay Jane, ito yung kay May. So, ito lang ang kukunin natin. So, we have here 3n. So, that is 3 times 30. So, the answer is 90 stamps. So, Anne has 90 stamps. So, this is an example. Bakit hindi na natin kinuha yung kay Jane at kay May? Kasi dito sa problem natin, ang tinatanong lang ay yung kay Anne. So, no need to compute for the stamps of May and Jane. Be careful of what is being asked in the problem. Baka mamaya solve kayo ng solve. Hindi naman pala yun tinatanong. So, now, let's proceed to let's sum up our lesson. What are the different types of proportion? So we have direct proportion. It states that if one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases at the same rate and vice versa. So anong mga example nito? So balikan niyo yung ating problem. And we have inverse proportion. It states that if one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases or vice versa. Magkasalungat ng direction. And then we have partitive proportion. A whole is divided into parts, and that is proportional to the given ratio. Now, here on your module, in 5.4a module, we have learning task number 3. Identify the types of proportion that the following problem illustrate. Then solve the problem in a piece of paper. So dito, kailangan ma-identify nyo daw muna kung siya ba ay direct, inverse, or partitive proportion. Then, isosolve nyo. Isosolve nyo rin siya. So, if you have any questions, pwede nyo balikan yung mga problem natin. I think there are some problems here na halos katulad nung binigay kong example dun sa mga nauna nating problems. So, now, I think this is the end of our of this video, and I hope I have shared some learnings for you, and I hope na medyo naintindihan niyo yung lesson natin because we are dealing with three kinds of proportion here. So Kung nagustuhan niyo yung video na to, please hit the like icon, and please share it to some of your friends, classmates, or students. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching my video. And that's it for today. Shout out ako sa aking ipag kay Ate Rio. Ayan, shout out po tsaka kay Ma'am. At shout out din po kay Ma'am Belia Pelaez. Ayan. Thank you po for subscribing to my channel. At saka sa aking laging nanonood si Mami Ami. Thank you for supporting my videos. That's it for today. And I need to sign. It's signing up time.